Hey everyone, and welcome to the Gadget Flow channel. Air conditioning isn't just about beating the heat, it's about smart energy usage, long-term savings, and adapting to increasingly unpredictable weather patterns. If you've been in the market for a new air conditioner, you've likely run into the term inverter more than a few times. But what does it actually mean? And more importantly, are inverter ACs really worth the hype compared to traditional non-inverter models? In this deep dive, we're going to break down how these two technologies work, how they perform in real-world scenarios, and whether the higher upfront cost of inverter ACs is justified. Let's get into it. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more awesome reviews. First, let's unpack the core difference between inverter and non-inverter ACs and why it matters. Traditional non-inverter ACs operate in a fairly simple on-off cycle. When the room reaches the desired temperature, the compressor, which is the component responsible for cooling, shuts off entirely. When the temperature rises again, it powers back on at full speed. This all-or-nothing approach is effective in cooling, but not exactly efficient. It uses a burst of energy each time the compressor kicks back into gear, and that frequent cycling can wear down components over time. Inverter ACs, on the other hand, use a variable speed compressor. Instead of turning on and off repeatedly, the inverter adjusts the compressor speed continuously to maintain the set temperature. Once the room is cooled, the inverter compressor slows down but keeps running at a lower level to sustain the desired climate. This leads to smoother performance, better energy efficiency, and less mechanical stress. To put it simply, non-inverter ACs blast cold air, pause, then repeat. Inverter ACs glide, accelerating and decelerating as needed to maintain a consistent comfort level. So how do they actually perform when it comes to cooling your space? Non-inverter ACs can cool a room quickly, but they tend to overshoot and undershoot the temperature target. That can lead to noticeable swings in comfort, too cold, then not cold enough, as the compressor cycles off and on. And every time it restarts, you might hear a slight jolt or hum. It's not a deal breaker, but over time, you do feel the rhythm of the machine more than the subtlety of the air. Inverter ACs provide a more stable environment. Because the compressor speed adjusts in real time, the temperature stays more consistent with fewer ups and downs. You don't get that burst of cold followed by silence, you get a more even and subtle airflow. And since the unit avoids high-power restarts, it often runs quieter, too. The result is a more refined and pleasant cooling experience, especially in bedrooms, offices, or other spaces where noise and comfort levels matter. In hotter climates, where the AC runs for hours at a time, inverter ACs are often more capable of maintaining cool air without strain. They also perform better during peak hours, handling temperature fluctuations without compromising energy use. Let's talk numbers and bills. Energy consumption is one of the biggest selling points for inverter ACs, and for good reason. Because they don't have to constantly restart at full power, they use significantly less electricity over time. In fact, many inverter models in 2025 boast energy savings of up to 40 to 60% compared to non-inverter units of the same capacity, especially in climates with long cooling seasons. Non-inverter ACs, by contrast, are less efficient by design. Every restart draws a spike of energy. Multiply that over a full day of cycling, and you're looking at a pretty substantial energy drain, particularly in large homes or during the summer months. While some newer non-inverter models have improved in efficiency, they still can't match the adaptability of inverter technology. Over the course of a year, especially if you're using the AC daily, inverter units often make up for their higher purchase price through reduced electricity bills. And in regions where power costs are high or tiered by usage, that monthly difference can be dramatic. Now, let's touch on comfort from another angle: sound. Non-inverter ACs are known for their stop-start sound profile. When the compressor kicks on, you'll hear a low hum or vibration, followed by silence once it shuts down. While this is totally normal, it can become a distraction, especially in quieter settings like bedrooms or study rooms. Inverter ACs are quieter because they don't cycle the compressor on and off. Instead, they ramp up or down gradually, producing a soft, consistent hum that blends into the background. For light sleepers, home offices, or anyone who values peace and quiet, this difference can be a major quality of life upgrade. Additionally, the smooth operation of inverter systems helps eliminate temperature fluctuations that can make a space feel drafty or unevenly cooled. This creates a more comfortable atmosphere where you're less likely to need a sweater 1 minute and a fan the next. So who should choose an inverter AC? Inverter ACs are perfect for people who run their air conditioning frequently, daily users, large households, or anyone living in hot and humid regions where cooling is essential for much of the year. They're also ideal for bedrooms and personal spaces where noise, comfort, and energy savings are top priorities. If you value consistency in temperature and lower long-term costs, inverter ACs are absolutely worth the upgrade. And who might be better served by a non-inverter model? Non-inverter ACs still make sense in certain situations. If you only use the AC occasionally, say, for a guest room, a vacation home, or a small office that only needs occasional cooling, then the lower upfront cost of a non-inverter model could be justified. You're not running it long enough to see huge energy savings, so the simplicity and lower price point may be a smarter match. This brings us to one of the biggest questions: how much more do inverter ACs cost, and are they worth it? In general, inverter models are more expensive upfront, typically 20 to 40% more than comparable non-inverter units. That difference covers the more complex compressor technology and advanced electronics that regulate performance. However, because inverter ACs use significantly less energy over time, the initial cost is often recouped within a few years of use. As for durability, inverter ACs tend to have longer operational lives. The reduced wear and tear from constant starting and stopping means the internal components, especially the compressor, experience less stress over time. That said, they can be more expensive to repair if issues arise, due to the complexity of the systems involved. Non-inverter ACs are mechanically simpler, which can make them easier and cheaper to fix if something goes wrong. But the frequent on-off cycles do add up in terms of wear, especially in high-use environments. The inverter market has matured significantly, with brands offering smarter, more adaptive systems than ever before. For all the models featured, you can find the links in the description. Daiking's FTKF series, for instance, uses a smart inverter algorithm that learns your usage habits to fine-tune temperature automatically. LG's dual inverter line continues to impress with whisper quiet operation and Wi-Fi-enabled smart controls. Samsung's wind-free inverter series is also gaining traction for delivering cool air through thousands of micro-holes, eliminating direct drafts. Meanwhile, in the non-inverter space, budget-friendly models from brands like Voltas, Panasonic, and Whirlpool continue to serve well in limited-use scenarios. So, are inverter ACs worth it? If you use your air conditioner regularly, care about energy efficiency, and want a quieter, more comfortable experience, the answer is a clear yes. Inverter ACs offer smoother operation, lower electricity bills, and greater long-term value, especially in hot climates or energy-conscious households. But if you're a light user, need a secondary cooling solution, or just want something affordable for a spare room, a non-inverter AC may still do the job just fine. It's all about your usage patterns, your space, and your budget. In the end, both types of ACs have their place, but when it comes to future-proofing your comfort and energy use, inverter technology is leading the way. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel.